We look at ourselves as the bridge between the traditional financial and the crypto world. So that's why we want to be the bank and issue stablecoin bank accounts directly out of your stablecoin. We all know about the breadth and scale of NWC, 100,000 attendees globally with phenomenal success, but I think it's the content.
Yeah, doing good. How about you, Adam?
Yeah, no, I'm good. It's that time of year when the pollen, all the flowers are out to kill me. So I'm like bunged up with hay fever. It's horrible.
I feel you, man. Well, you sound great. Ready for this.
Well, thank you. But how's everyone's week been so far?
Yeah, cruising along, man. I can't believe it's already Thursday again. So it's been blowing by. So,
I got hit by a tornado pretty hard, actually.
Oh, bloody
I live
hell.
in St. Louis, and then we got, like, right where I live, just got rocked. And I was in the middle of it. I was on the phone with Grant. It was like 3:30 on a Friday, and I'm, like, standing outside in a suit, like, holding onto my door, like, I think I'm in a tornado. And then everything just, like, the lights started flickering, and then, like, heard a big boom, power went nuts, and then, like, everything started flying up in the air. I went back in the office. And yeah, it was pretty crazy. There were like maybe 5,000 trees that got hit. But anyways,
Bloody hell. Was there much damage
everything is good.
from your side, or
No
is
damage
everything
on
okay?
my side because I live in a building, but like the houses and like there's so many trees. I don't know how long it's gonna take. I don't even know how you can like the undertaking of like 5,000, 100-year-old trees that are down and like how you even we basically have this big park called Forest Park that's about I think 2.5 times the size of Central Park, and so that's what got smoked. So there's just so many trees. So yeah, it's crazy.
That's dedication, though. Staying on the meeting, though. So
yeah, well, it wasn't today. It wasn't today, but yeah, I'm all good. Power's back. Everything is live. And yeah, so we got Grant. You're leading it today. Did we get clarity on if IBC is showing up? It was one of the agencies, or if we just have the two today?
So I haven't heard from IBC. So until I hear anything, I'm assuming they're not turning up for this one. They were keen, but I just haven't heard from my contacts.
Sounds good. So it looks like we probably just got the two. So Grant, I'll let you take it from here.
Alrighty. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the 15th recurring Platform and Treasury Council meeting. We're going to continue the journey of transparency, governance, and community engagement for Telcoin ecosystem. The agenda today is going to cover a lot of vital updates on Telcoin governance, initiatives, recent platform developments, and the preview of upcoming progress TIPs and TEL-IP proposals. Just a quick reminder, these regular recurring meetings serve as the heartbeat of our governance system, and they fulfill a lot of essential functions. They create a transparent window into council operations for the community. They provide structured forums for discussing and refining proposals. They offer proposers a platform to present their ideas directly to council members. They enable community members to witness, discuss, and help shape these proposals. They deliver consistent platform updates to keep everyone informed. They're maintaining open lines of communication between council members and help facilitate direct community engagement through our interactive Q&A sessions at the end of every meeting. I want to take another moment to just reaffirm that the Platform and Treasury Council represents the global governance layer for both Telcoin Platform and the Association. Working together, these two councils oversee platform-wide systems, they shape association social policies, and steward the Tel Treasury with care and foresight. And the platform governance system is self-organized and is determined by the 4 minor groups and their elected councils within the association. That is to focus on these 2 primary duties: provisioning, which is such as planning and financing platform infrastructure, construction and maintenance, providing information, and delivering other goods that are essential to the ecosystem's health. And TEL allocation, which is regulating the TEL sustainably within the platform for the 4 minor groups to harvest based on their production according to the rules that are established by these respective councils. So as council members, we are committed and embrace several key responsibilities to thoughtfully review and vote on these snapshot proposals, maintain consistent attendance at council meetings, provide transparent, regular updates to the community, and vigilantly monitor platform systems and uphold and enforce our operational framework. Now, a quick recap from our last meeting. We had a warm welcome to our newest platform council members, Ari and Dwight. Again, welcome. Happy to have you guys on board. We also announced the liquid delegation for TAN Council. As a reminder, only Telcoin Holdings will be voting for that seat and is currently underway. Once it is concluded, there will be a time for compliance to review. At that point, it'll be finalized and the NFT will be issued. We also discussed the TIP for expanding council meeting coverage proposal that was passed, and that is now in full effect, I believe. The TIP for publication of council organization chart and updated Telcoin Association website, the GitHub, and the CMC proposals was discussed. We also confirmed that the GitHub and website and Discord were updated on CoinMarketCap. Last meeting, we met with 2 potential partners for the media and marketing campaign that supports the Telcoin ecosystem awareness. We had a presentation from Scribe, and we had a chance to meet Storm partners for the first time. We've invited them back to give another presentation this week. I see they're here. That's great. Good to see you guys. And we also had a CoinStore update and kind of expressed some of the challenges with the multi-signature wallet integration that some users were experiencing. And the Global Councils confirmed full support for the pre-approval process, proposal path for Adam, aka Squirtel, to operate in the way that he deems best. And I see that he's been very busy these past 2 weeks with a lot of great TelIP proposals that we're going to be reviewing later today. All right. So without further ado, let's jump into a quick Telcoin network update. We addressed all findings in the smart contract audit. The security researchers have reviewed those findings and they shared a draft report with us just before this call. I haven't had a chance to review it yet, but we're planning to do that right after the call. So once we review that, we'll finalize and we will be able to release that publicly. I expect that to be as soon as next week. The next audit that we're preparing for will put the entire code base in scope for a 4-week competition, again through Spearbit. This will be an open competition where researchers can participate and look at anywhere in the code that's in scope, which will be our full Rust code and our smart contracts. We're working to finalize that exact date, but we're targeting June 10th. We're also reviewing a dedicated researcher to stay on for those 4 weeks to also independently, privately audit the code, primarily to focus on the Rust code and the protocol, which has not had a full audit yet. Other news, I met with a few MNOs this past week to pitch Telcoin Network on technical level and explain our governance structure. And the hardware specifications are finalized so that early participants can start procuring hardware. So all in all, a lot of great interest and some more follow-up meetings and some new meetings coming up soon. So really excited about all the leads that we have so far for Telcoin Network validators. Fourth on the agenda today is a TelX update. So TelX website is refreshed and is going to be released open source soon. We're just holding back for an internal audit to ensure that there's no particular sensitive information that we missed. We're going to wipe the Git history and just kind of start fresh. So I expect that to be pretty soon. It's not a huge priority, but it's something that we definitely want to get done as soon as possible. So these updates for the website will empower the TelX Council to deprecate and start updating liquidity pools. And our very own council member, Amir, has been working closely with TelX Council to develop some new contracts for the TelX miners based on Uniswap v4. It's a very modern approach, and we're very excited to have those updates. There is one particular topic that some TelX Council has asked me to bring up, and that is that, in particular, the code needs to be audited. We've gone through the process of receiving quotes. We have auditors in mind that we think that some security researchers that would be great fits for this sort of project. But the TelX Council has requested advice on how to assign the cost of the V4 hook audits. If that would be something from the global councils or if that would be a TelX Council budgetary item.
Yeah, I'll jump in. So basically, about our governance structure is have this opportunity a shop theoretically say that.
Parker is cutting out for me. Is that the case for anyone else?
Yeah, so I'm having the
Yeah,
exact same.
just breaking up.
Okay, Parker, I don't think we're able to hear you.
Anymore.
Grant, maybe you can kind of just continue, and we'll circle back to Parker once he has his mic issues fixed.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's not a problem. And so I think part of the consideration is just, yeah, having that code audited so that it is, so that we're confident that there's no security vulnerabilities moving forward into production. I think that, yeah, the budgetary consideration is something that's important, and that, yeah, I'd love to hear Parker's thoughts on that more, and any other council members that may have insight into that. I think that as far as the year 2 TEL IP issuance, we have that sort of squared away, and there's always, room for potential follow-up TEL IP to address those budgetary constraints, but it's something that the council will need to consider and vote on. So I guess, Parker, I see you're still unmuted. Any chance you coming through? Okay. Well, then let's circle back to this and move on. And just a quick reminder, I know we're not the best about posting agendas in the chat before meetings, but we're going to try to get the agendas posted before the meetings in the Platform Council Treasury, the Platform Treasury Council channel. But I posted in the chat just in case. So Parker drop. All right. Well, give it just a few more seconds here. As far as Telcoin network updates and Telex updates, are there any questions before we jump into our presentations? Very good. Let's see. Yeah, I think a tweet on the Twitter would be a great idea as well. Or the X platform. All right, Parker, you back?
Yeah, sorry. I think I just lost internet where I was sitting. But yeah, I don't know how much did you hear any what I said?
No, it pretty much was an immediate drop, but we can hear you now.
Okay. Well, what I was just saying is basically that what's cool about the Telcoin Association is it has these different governance entities, different minor councils that you can do. It's called forum shopping, where you can go and theoretically they could, as the Telex Council, because they have a limited amount of TEL incentives as it is, and they need to finance this new thing, they could either go to the TAN Council, another local council, and request funding, which is just an option, but and this is the primary way to do it, is to create a TEL IP, because that we as the global councils govern the primary stock or storage of TEL that's meant to plan and finance things and to allocate towards incentives. And if the budget is needed, then we can vote on it. And I think that it would, especially if there was a Telex IP that was approved for it, that they did, because we wouldn't want to, approve a proposal on a TEL IP that then got rejected by the Telex Council, right? But I think that's what that's how it's designed, right? So that we can manage and regulate this stuff and allocate it towards those two objectives. And this clearly falls into that. And so I think that's what they should do. That's my long-winded answer.
Well, thank you for sharing. I appreciate that insight. Is there any other additional comments on the topic before we move forward? All right. Well, thanks, Parker. I appreciate that. Let's move on to the 5th item on the agenda today, and that is to hear from some of our media marketing future partners here. There's a TEL IP that is titled RFQ for Strategic Marketing and Communications Partner. And today's the deadline for submissions from these marketing firms. And it was basically a request for quotation as proposed by Parker. And the RFQ invites qualified marketing agencies to submit these proposals for a campaign that's designed to increase the association's visibility and grow participation in the Telcoin ecosystem and platform and amplify engagement across Telcoin platform and the social medias. So and this proposal would cover funding for that RFQ. The current proposal specifies maximum contract value based on a 12-month basis or a quarterly basis. Is yet to be on the snapshot vote, but the process for the proposal is basically the marketing company would reply to the forum post, present to the global council meetings, which is what we're doing today, provide a detailed proposal in a PDF format, ideally less than 20 pages, and then provide a complete pricing template and a signed letter of authority. So marketing firms, I see we have we have both in attendance today. That's great to see. So if you would please email all those files to council-members@telcoin.org before the end of the day, that'd be great. I will follow up with you in the chat here if you haven't already. But our snapshot vote will commence on the 2nd of June, and the voting period should be over by the middle of June. In which case the campaigns can start. So the selected agency is going to report to the Platform Council and present progress during these global council meetings once a month, so every other meeting. And then, so quick recap. Last week we heard from Scribe, who's been working with Telcoin Holdings for the past few months. And we also got a chance to meet Storm Partners. They're based in Switzerland. And we requested them to follow up this week with another presentation, get them some more time. So today we're concluding those applications and we're going to hear from two very capable firms. I'd like to give each company as much time as they would like to introduce themselves, talk about the business, those synergies between us and their marketing, and then and even provide feedback to the specific proposal if there's any. So without further ado, I'd like to invite the first company to present today, Storm Partners. Welcome back. See, we have Gio and Julio in the audience. We're gonna, if you raise your hands to speak, we'll invite you guys up. All right.
Good morning, guys.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, hello.
How's it going?
Good morning.
Great. Glad you guys could
really,
make it.
really, yeah, happy to be here. This was it's been on our calendar for a while with a big gold star next to it, so we were excited about it.
Fantastic. Now we've got sort of the presenter permissions. I think we've got them figured out. So do either one of you need to share your screen, or is there any sort of presentation access? I can go ahead and make sure that's added to your profile.
Yeah, I would like to share my screen if possible.
Yes.
I think I do need permissions.
Okay. Good. Right. You should have the presenter role now.
Okay, yeah, it looks like it. Okay, I'll open it up. Is everybody able to see our Telcoin Storm page?
Yes, looks good.
Yep. Okay, very good. So in general, this proposal will give you really a quick glimpse into how it is that we actually execute for clients. We usually work in Notion. This particular proposal will have a non-indexed URL that I'll be sharing with everyone to take your time and look over it. I think it will probably take, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes to go through it, and then we'll open it up for any questions. Does that sound okay?
Yes, that's totally great. Take as much time as you need.
Okay, thank you. So another kind of unorthodox element of this proposal is we kind of just dove directly into next steps because, yeah, to say the team is excited and prepared to execute for Telcoin would be a real understatement. There's already some motions that we've kind of put into effect. I spoke a bit last week about the proprietary Storm AI that we have, and it gives you a glimpse into how we're able to execute so much content at scale with a good level of quality. And we've already kind of started running that system based on our years of learning in Web3 success and failures with case studies, as well as kind of the go-to market and Telcoin data that we've injected it with. And then throughout this slide, you'll see that we started a bit playing around with the brand evolution. I mean, we're making a lot of assumptions here, but the team is having a good time kind of showing what we would like to do and kind of the possible direction that we can go in. And then, of course, these are really like action items that we just dive, upon selection, we're really prepared to execute. I can try to play this. I don't know if it's going to show for you guys. Maybe I need to go into the big screen. Is everybody to see this demo really quickly?
Yes, as I can see it.
Very good. Okay, so this is what we have running in the back end of Storm. It's an AI that we've built for content generation and distribution. And some of the data that we've loaded it with is everything from kind of tone of voice, what the search intent is for particular pieces of content, what kind of format we want to follow. And this is everything from blogs to video to social, and yeah, everything, all content production, everything we run through Tavily just to show kind of what is the best ranker out there, what are the top three kind of positioning themselves at, and it's really just on a mission to outrank them. We have a series of agents that each perform a particular segment when it comes to content creation. It's not a kind of a simple chat GPT prompt. Everything from the intro to the conclusion to the format of the article, and then a final agent to kind of edit it and turn it into these, what we say 90% done, publish ready content that's again verified by two actual humans on our team, which Julio is one of them. He's on the call with us today. He's our senior kind of content, community, all things media specialist. So that's kind of what we feel is a lever for us to be able to really execute. But yeah, I guess what I should have started is with who we are. I think of the intro is very much necessary. So we are Storm partners. We've been deep in Web3 since 2016. We have 5 key pillars that we have across our company, strategy and research being kind of the main foundation layer for all of the work that we do. I mean, since 2016, we have a general company presentation that we present that shows all the logos, kind of who we've worked with during this time. But I think I just really just wanted to dive into what's most relevant. And strategy and research teams led by our director, DJ, who is absolutely next level when it comes to how he thinks through protocols, how he thinks into adding value. If you look on our LinkedIn page, you'll see kind of his hot takes, his controversial positions on why L1s are dying and what we're doing to kind of bring them back to life. Expediting their exit. Legal and compliance led by Dr. Nicola. Yeah.
Armias, you went mute for 1 minute.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yes, sure can. Yeah, I think it was like right as you pulled this page up. So if you start from that again, we can hear you now, or I can hear you.
Okay. Did you all hear the intro to the strategy and research?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it was right as you pulled
And
this, the Y Storm partners.
Okay, so you didn't hear when I got to finance and risk and legal and compliance.
Correct.
Okay, so yeah, I was just mentioning that strategy and research is led by DJ, who is the director of that department, which has an entire team behind him. And that department, as I was mentioning, is the foundation of all of the other work that we do across the other pillars. DJ, yeah, I was saying that if you look on our LinkedIn, you'll see his very controversial takes on how he's a straight shooter. He's a Marine and still very much is a Marine. And that just gives you kind of an idea of how he runs shop in our strategy and research department. And they are really credited for bringing some L1s back to life, currently doing work for many of the leading protocols. And in our general company presentation, we have all of the logos, tons of them of great work that we've done along with case studies. But in this RFQ presentation, I just wanted to kind of dive into the actionables. So on the finance and risk side, our director there is Basel. He's one of the leading really crypto accounting treasury experts out there. He's currently working on Tor Wallet's expansion. We were responsible kind of for them investor readiness, making sure their tokenomics are in place, making sure their financial treasury operations are where they need to be. On the legal and compliance side, it's led by our director, Dr. Nicola, who, when it comes to legal and compliance, again, really, the directors of our departments are really best in class. His team were the architects behind what I think is, we can verify that it's the largest token merger really in our industry. The Singularity Net, Fetch AI, Ocean, a couple other smaller players that joined forces to create artificial superintelligence. So we entered into that contract as legal and compliance support, and now we're currently doing some work for them also on the growth and marketing side. And growth and marketing, which is most relevant to what we're here for today, is led by myself as the director. I was a former director of marketing at Amina Bank, who is now a client of Storm for a few different motions. Currently restructuring some growth for Ava Labs as they're entering into different regions. And really, a host of other companies that we're doing some pretty good work for. In addition, Storm Partners has a Lightning Box, which is our corporate innovation kind of sandbox for corporates that are really looking to layer blockchain solutions around some of the problems that they're having. And the main pillars that we're focusing on there is luxury and finance and impact. By impact, I mean in like UNHCR, World Food Program, some of those kind of impact-driven organizations. You may, if you kind of know Storm and you're following Storm, you may have seen that we recently had Corporate Innovation Day where we brought together TradFi, luxury brands, impact organizations, as I just mentioned, which I believe is relative to Telcoin when we look at the expansion towards remittances across the globe. A lot of these organizations are looking for a seamless way to do that. So this is a glimpse at the foundation of who Storm is and what we do. In general, we're much more than an agency. We really are the execution layer. And this is our motto at the moment, really scaling blockchain beyond Web3. That's really what our mission is. So now as we get into Telcoin and the grand vision, this is something that the team not only sees the extreme potential, but are really quite intrigued and really eager to get behind the mission. It says, we know Paul's quote about turning every ATM essentially into crypto digital cash in and out point, which is super impressive, something I'm excited about. So Telcoin is building from much more than Web3, and then our mission of scaling blockchain beyond Web3 is really tightly aligned. So as the first GSM certified telecom integrated regulated crypto bank, Telcoin is uniquely positioned, and the way that we're able to execute, at speed and at scale, we believe makes us the ideal partners to see that out. A bit of information around just the general executive summary about this proposal. we consider ourselves a strategy and research firm first, with execution arms across the branches that I previously spoke about. Yeah, this is, I mean, I'm not going to read verbatim from our presentation, but this is kind of to show you that for us, this is much more than a marketing and communications play. It's really a fundamental unlocking of traditional banking and really getting this technology out across the globe. So it's much more than a gamble. I found this really cool logo out there that kind of captures that we're not gambling with Telcoin. It's something that we take quite seriously, and below we'll get into what those technical implementations are. Again, these Notion boards is really a clear example of what you would be invited into. So you have a really transparent overview into how we work, how our timelines are looking. Of course, there's some assumptions here. As you see, we're ready to get started. And when you open these cards up, it really gives you the execution on how we plan on achieving these goals. So one of the main pillars that we're thinking is brand strategy, just getting messaging and positioning really nailed down to really target the ICPs that we're going after. And again, this is laid on the foundation that the strategy and research team puts together. These are kind of some of the execution points that we look at. And again, this brand evolution was just the team, just kind of having a good time and showing the directions that we can take Telcoin. And if you take, for example, this first slot here, is really a very gentle kind of evolution where the only thing that we did is kind of align the logo font as well, with the logo, making sure it's kind of aligned. As we started expanding a bit, being a bit creative, we came up with this particular version with the T and the C. And the one that I like the most, of course, so I put it big here, is this real evolution of what Telcoin is. These dots that you see here, they kind of represent the GSM network. And you may see a T there, you may see, I don't know, Falcon rocket going up, but essentially it's showing that, the internet of money based on the GSM network. So that's what our in-house head of design kind of put together. And there's, of course, a lot of layers, a lot of alignment between both of our teams that's needed to come with the final outcome. So on the campaign execution, we are basing it around initial goals that are in RFQ. In terms of feedback, it's a pretty well structured RFQ. It sounds like the team that put it together has a pretty clear understanding of what the goal should be. We do have some input on some areas that we can expand, maybe some opportunities that weren't recognized that we'd like to take advantage of. And again, those will be really detailed out and discovered together as we align our teams. Content and media, this is really like no end dates to it. This is something that we continuously develop. Storm AI, I just showed that to you, but also the creative production as we go out with our community framework with the AMAs and the guest podcasts, really all the fundamentals of marketing, like nothing that you get extra credit for. It just needs to be executed well, executed with precision and with very clear goals in mind. And community and localization, this is really a key part of what it is that we're doing, making sure we are deeply embedded in the markets that we're going after. We have ambassador frameworks, partnership frameworks. We really get into working with product teams on improving onboarding, increasing retention, and just ensuring that everything is integrated across product, across communications, across growth. Really fully encompassed integrated strategy. Are there any questions so far as I keep diving into it, or is everybody okay? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm keeping an eye on the chat, and I don't see any questions yet, but it's doing great. You're doing great, Gio. Keep it up.
Cool, thank you. Community and localization. I mentioned earlier that Julio, he's really the man behind how we're able to penetrate communities, expand awareness for our clients. something that he's quite good at, quite passionate about. And this is, I mean, this is really just a snapshot of the work that we put together with a lot of thought and a lot of strategy behind it. Uh, I mean, this is a big topic on my mind here. I have it here as Telcoin's North Star, which that's a very bold assumption, but for me, like driving value of the coin itself and ensuring that adoption is scaled, participation and ecosystem confidence is built is something that we plan on putting not only our strategy and research team behind to create the foundation, but really a full team alignment. It's really all hands on deck to ensure that this investment increases in value. There are really a few key principles. Yeah, these are the types of quotes that the DJ puts out there. And if you look at his LinkedIn post, he really goes quite deep on what is actually needed to survive these markets and to create more than hype, especially when you're trying to do what Telcoin is doing. I mean, this isn't a typical project for us. And this is really where we really get deep into bringing in our finance and risk team, strategy and research team, and really building activation both on the demand side, supply side, utility expansion, really quite detailed into how we will go about really both on-chain and off-chain, doing everything that we have done in the past, as well as the newer learnings that we have to ensure an increase in valuation. That's our main focus. So how do we report?
I mean, I heard your whole presentation, so, but
Okay.
apparently people aren't. I don't know.
Yeah, I just asked it in the chat. I don't. Oh, somebody says they hear nothing.
Yeah, I mean, me personally, but I think also a lot of people, we stopped when you opened the budget window.
Already? Okay. What about everybody else? Does everybody remember how far I got? Happy to fill in any gaps. It seems sporadic. Some people can hear, some people can't.
Yeah, I'm sorry that this is an issue. I think this is going to be kind of the last straw for us in Discord, in my opinion. But yeah, again, sorry to kind of interrupt the presentation with these sort of technical hiccups. For me, I lost audio right around the right after you started talking about, you'd gone into number 4 with real-time value attribution, and discussing the psychology of growth. And then that's right. That's the last screen that where I lost audio personally. But is there anybody else? So I missed the whole budget breakdown section. That helps.
My voice is coming in and out.
Yes, Ermias asked me to tell you all you guys that his audio is crashing, like intermittently. So I'll try to answer Squirtle. So I still need approval from Ermias to say some names, but we certainly had done some previous campaigns in the past where the token value was fundamental. I am in this field like since 2019, since the last bull cycle. Even though I'm in the field since Dogecoin launch, but I was fully scammed through MTGOX, so it's not a good experience as a first timer. But like since 2019, we have managed campaigns for algorithm tokens, which went very, very good, reaching something around 500 M in TVL. We currently are helping and also done in the past some campaigns for AI-based tokens. So from that perspective, we are talking about from zero to hero. So we help them through Galaxy campaigns, the giveaways, creating community from zero. And I must admit, I still need approval to say some stats. But I must say that we are very, very proud of the results. Tokens are healthy, going great, and yeah, like we have case histories in the past. I also am pretty sure Storm Partners we have some presentations with our case histories. I hope at least my audio works.
Yes, I can hear you, Julio.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you.
And yeah, for further examples, I'm sure that Ermias or I will directly share a presentation with our previous case histories.
Great. That sounds like a plan. Are there any other questions from the community or in the council? Yeah, most of the presentation got through, and I really appreciate you guys coming back and presenting. I thought it was very thoughtful and clearly demonstrated you guys did your homework on the association. So fantastic to hear your presentation and your words. So thank you.
Thank you, guys. See you very soon.
All right. Well, we have one other marketing firm invited today. This is EAK Digital, and I believe that Liberty Lad has helped introduce us. Yeah, is there anybody here from the EAK Digital team that, if you could raise your hand, I'd love to invite you to the stage, have you present. All right, here we go. Thanks again, Storm Partners, appreciate it. And great, we have EAK Digital coming up to the stage now. I see.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey guys, am I audible?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right. There should be two more people
Okay.
coming onto stage. I think.
See one more.
Can you see Karate Chop in the
Yes.
audience? Yeah. Him too.
All right.
I can get started. Meanwhile.
Great, and I can. Is there any visual presentation with today's announcement? Did you guys? I can assign the presenter role if whoever's gonna. If there is a screen share portion, it's not required, but
Yeah, definitely. I can share my screen on this if that's okay.
yes, absolutely. I'll give you that.
All right. Second. Right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. I don't know where everyone is right now, but MSOs. Thank you for allowing us to present here. Really excited to kind of work on this and present this here, and obviously take feedback or whatever about this presentation. Happy to take some feedback. To give you some context, EAK. I've been in Web3 since ETH. Like I refer to it always as since ETH was proof of work. So I go back since then, and I lead strategy EAK Global, and I'm also leading EAK Asia, which is an Asia division. I've led about 40 projects or 50 around to market in the last 4 to 5 years. When the space, I've dealt with DApps, protocols, NFTs, I think you name it. To give you some, this overall, this I'm going to take you through. I'm not exactly going through a package as such, but rather through what we think Telcoin should be positioning as to grow as a market leader, to achieve its various KPIs. And I'm happy to obviously take any questions at the end of the presentation if need be. To get started. So Telcoin sits at a powerful intersection of Telcoin and DeFi. It needs tailored strategy to activate participation across ecosystems. I think you had a very sound KPI system made, which is, I really appreciate that. So obviously this proposal is tiered across the KPIs, which is securing tier 1 media placements, driving the TVL growth, governance turnouts, and onboarding new developers to the Telcoin ecosystem. I think the last one also is super important because being a protocol, the first sort of audience segment which you also want to target are developers and builders who kind of who initially build that use case on protocol, right? So EAK is a Web3 native agency. We deal with emerging markets. We also have presence in global markets. Turkey arm, we have a LATAM arm. So we've actually helped projects like AppSui grow across ecosystems. We've also helped DOP. I think they had one of the most, I mean, obviously the token is later right now, but initially when they had approached us for their TGE, we'd help them have one of the most successful TGEs in the most recent known. We've broken down this presentation and targeting around audience segments around MNOs, retail users, developers, liquidity miners, and voters. That's essentially how we've broken down our messaging for each and every vertical, and how we're going to use each and every channel to then reach out to these target segment. So we've kind of had a very 360-degree kind of approach here. Yeah, so we propose positioning Telcoin as compliance-driven DeFi for the mobile world, because compliance and DeFi don't really go together if you know by recent terms. So I think this is kind of sort of like a awakening normal Twitter crypto. It encapsulates, like I said, Telcoin's core strength, and it immediately differentiates from your traditional DeFi plays in the space, which are which we obviously know are not. We want to go through each and every single thing. I'm just gonna, in the interest of time and of all the community members, I'm just gonna focus on the core aspects of each and every point. This presentation is shared with all the council with the email ID mentioned initially. So you can go through your other time. So yeah, compliant first innovation, mobile friend. We're gonna target 3 themes, which is compliance first innovation, mobile powered financial freedom, secure yield, yet simplified also. To support this obviously narrative shift, we recommend subtle yet impactful refinements to Telcoin's visual storages. Obviously, we have regular use of regulatory badges and trust icons that essentially in average user's mind kind of it creates trust value. I also just want to pause here and ask if I'm audible till now and I haven't dropped, because I know the previous presenter dropped multiple. So I just want to make sure.
Yeah, I can still hear you.
I'm top thinker.
Yep, you're good.
Okay, perfect. Good to know that Discord is supporting me. So yeah, emphasizing mobile-centric imagery to showcase obviously accessibility, and leveraging clean, minimalistic design. That's how protocols also kind of want to come across. Most of the good protocols, they always leverage clean, minimalistic design to communicate clarity and simplicity. Audience-centric. Now coming to the meat of the conversation. To maximize Telecon's ecosystem growth, we've crafted KPI-driven strategies, especially for each of the segment which we kind of want to target down. So today, we want to talk about mobile network operators. We position Telcoin to them as compliant fintech solution for telecoms to enter DeFi safely. So driving MNO integrations and user adoptions. The thing is that, like, to talk to these guys, and because I know that we have like you just mentioned that Grant just mentioned that he had a couple things left. So you also want to back it up by having thought leadership, opinion pieces, webinars, LinkedIn content on compliant opportunities, just so that you have that digital infrastructure when you do talk to these mobile network operators. Industry events. This highly personal. We'll be listing out industry we can attend to, curated invite-only events. We can also have really niche events curated around us. That's something which we do. Invite-only events, sponsorship and speaking roles at events like Mobile World Congress. That's something which came up as a suggestion from the team. Outreach. We can also to increase or to in outreach. We could also run targeted DM outreaches with customized partnership decks to via LinkedIn or Twitter DMs directly to employees of employees of mobile network operator needs. So yeah, I've just also aligned it with some sort of like a with KPIs here, just so that when we know that we're doing these activities, these are the KPIs to keep in mind. Retail users, that's pretty simple to be honest. We'll be doing localized social educational reels, stories, friendly content, emphasizing simple and remittance things. Influencer partnerships. Micro influencers. Considering the budget, we ideally would want to spread our budget between tier 2 and tier 3 kind of influencers, just because it allows us for a wider reach at this point of time. And since we're looking at awareness, that's what we should be doing. Promoting personal finance and use case, referral and rewards, user incentives for referrals, and for transactions and staking. So that's the KPI alignment. Obviously, we're running these social campaigns. We'll be looking at number of TVL staked and the volume growth of Telex trade. Application developers. This is something which we're really interested in. Attract and onboard developers with Telcoin unique integrated development environment. Shubham, do you want to touch more on this? Since I know you're the Dell expert.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I'm so sorry.
I get it. For asking for reasons.
Thank you.
I'm gonna pull forwards, let you out, then repark.
Yeah.
Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to keep that clear for them.
Yeah. Just do whatever you want.
I'm gonna drop you off here, and then I'm gonna once you get out, I'm gonna.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Sorry.
You're fine.
Amir, you're not on mute.
I just put him on mute.
Hello. Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hi, cool. Yeah. So yeah, I'm Shivam. I've been into the developer experience and engagement space for about 7 years now. And yeah, I'll just quickly take you through the plan that we have for Telcoin. So we'll be starting with Telcon's reach to diverse developer communities. So initially, the plan is to partner with 2 external hackathons, and including an in-person event and of course a virtual event as well. And the plan is to we start the hackathon partnerships in Q2, and in Q3 we host a virtual hackathon wherein we'll be providing a dynamic platform for builders for everywhere to bring innovative ideas and projects. And to end it up, we'll be hosting one in-person hackathon wherein all of the developers who have participated, they get chance to connect, collaborate, and create in the same space. And in addition to this, right, we also are planning to launch a developer portal packed with the tutorials, the documentation, and the practical how-to content, the general videos that you see. And the goal and the objective here is to make onboarding and building on Telcoin as seamless as possible. And apart from this, of course, we'll be holding governance town halls and AMAs, just to keep the tech community informed and engaged, so that they feel empowered to participate in Telcoin's future. And on the giveaway and the referrals part, we'll be rolling out 3 bounty campaigns throughout the year. And again, the objective here would be we aim over 50 quality submissions per campaign. So yeah, just to cover up the numbers here, so we expect these initiatives to bring in over 800 new devs by end of the year, and 150 plus developer contributions through apps, integrations, and code commits. Yeah, that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, happy to answer them.
Right. Thank you, Shubham. I'm gonna continue with the presentation. Of course, we'll take questions towards the end. So okay, coming back to let's talk about contributors, right? We obviously want to put one of the KPIs was to boost community governance. So easy series, easy to follow, snapshot, and taking guides. That's what we recommend. Canadian stuff. One thing which, because I've been part of the jury also, love how they kind of handle their town halls. They also have these reward participations with badges and airdrop incentive based on the amount of participation which you do show in these every new protocol, every new product being built on Jupe. You do get some sort of like an airdrop coming. Through via the launchpad, you do get some sort of drop. So I think that's something which to take note of. That's something which I felt like could be mentioned here. Weekly town halls and AMAs frequent. I think that's amazing work which you guys are already doing here. So I'm not going to focus too much on that. Our KPIs would be to increase voter turnout and tell staking and delegation via that. Campaign tactics and execution plan continued. We just want to outline some tactics here. So through earned media engine, we'd be targeting tier 1 media outreach. We want to be securing pitching, strategic pitching, news hooks, and we want to be getting our free coverage on crypto trends, thought leadership articles, monthly byline articles, or op-eding Telcoin as a leader in compliant DeFi for Telcom. We just got one of our clients on CNN recently, just as an op-ed. Professionally curated press kits, media. Obviously, we have toolkit for this prepared. This all will be prepared by our PR executive. We do have internal like Crypto Harrow and EK Wire, which basically help us get these opportunities on a regular, much faster basis. We have a strong of journalists. EK has been in the space for about 8+ years. Hence, influencer and KOL amplification, strategic partnerships with crypto influencers in targeted regions. In the global crypto space, MENA and SCH, is because I focus on the because of the low CPA and just keeping the budget in mind. YouTube reviews and explainers, influencer throughs of Telcoin products and staking. Especially when we do see these developers come in, we'll see more products come in. That's where we would also want to increase our infrastructure. Micro-influencer campaigns, localized grassroots campaigns with Web 2.5 to appliance. The thing is that we do recommend some sort of 2.5 audience because the amount of Web 3 audience is limited. The amount of Web 2.5 audience is much bigger. So what girls don't realize, and most of the Web 3 don't realize, they just try to eat the same pie. We obviously will target Web 3 audience, but we also do want to expand and start we cement ourselves on the grassroots level. We have higher adoption chances later on. Application developers is something which Shubham mentioned. From Q2 to Q4 with 2 external hackathons. This is essentially to show you how our progression would be to get new developers. One in-person event to reach and tap into broader developer communities. Q3 host our Telcoin, and Q3 would probably host our Telcoin virtual hackathon, and in Q4 host Telcoin in-person hackathon. These program creations launch and continuously update a developer portal with tutorials, robust document, and how-to content. We'll run bounty programs, run 3 bounty campaigns per year, incentivizing app integration development. Our targets are going to be 50+ submissions per campaign, and we onboard 800 new active developers by the year end. This is just a roadmap on how our developer program would work. Production and localization. I think this is something which I've already spoken about and will speak more in detail below. We'd be doing to increase the LX security. We'd be supporting with Twitter Spaces, partnered quarterly 4 campaigns per year with partners. Live our KPIs would be live event participation, achieve a total of 600+ live AMA participations annually. Twitter Space engagement reach 600. This is initially which we'd be targeting. So coming to creative and campaign samples, we believe it's about through and copy. We want to be delivering clarity, trust, and action across every audience segment, because that's going to be one of our initial touches in the marketing funnel when we do interact with the user. So we've also given some sort of like quick samples here, which we've generated across to give you like an idea of how we would keep this. But yeah, concept, how Telcoin is enabling the telecom industry entry into DeFi. We're basically also targeting bigger keywords here. We would approach this in a thought leadership style editorial, industry trend commentary with compliance first narrative and MNO track record. Localized social content, send more, save more. This is something which just appeals users' logic, so which they could read. So that's something, and kind of provides, also has a small hook in copy. So this is how we basically, break down every content piece. Format Instagram Reels, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, friendly, direct, mobile first. Obviously, the outcome from all our Twitter will be increased wallet installs and referral conversions. Send 200, send 10,000 to your family and save 650 in fees. Welcome to Telcoin. Fast, fair remittances on your phone. This is like a sample copy which we've given, just to show how we would be talking to our tone with a non-user. We've provided with some coverage example here. Above here, social campaign visuals, developer campaigns, we would see probably Zeely as our concept, the Telcoin Rise Zeely Season 1, invite to earn, because we would, I see Zeely more as a product, as a community engagement. From our experience, Zeely is more as a community engagement platform. Galaxy is more of a cheap alternative to acquisition, like a quick acquisition channel, but like you only get small boosts from there. So that's how we would want to be starting Galaxy and Zeely channels also. We've also I've provided with some samples on your vote, your protocol format. So I've given a copy snippet. Telcoin isn't a company, so we vote in this September 1st elections and shape what's next. Governance matters. We've also given you examples of what a developer hackathon flyer could look like. Here. Coming to reporting analytics, we'll be tracking mostly through attribution, UTM, on-chain through Dune Analytics and Snapshot, and community, because we already have our leaderboards there. We also do have weekly reports going every week, talking about what was achieved, what kind of KPIs were hit, and what are we doing next week to kind of go ahead with that, to go back onto our KPIs track. So yeah, that's in depth about our presentation. This is just sample. We obviously will build a longer strategy in time, but I hope that this kind of painted a picture to you as to how we think on a more strategic level, and not just I do a package here, but like we just wanted to kind of break down each and every segment and then come back and then tell you what we think about each segment. About EK and relevant and experience, let me just give you some our credibility. EK Digital we're a global Web3 marketing powerhouse with a proven track record across ecosystems, activating communities and participations from most of the regions across the world. Web3 native company. We also focus on emerging markets, because we see a lot of the acquisition becomes simpler there and becomes quicker there. And allows for long-term growth. We've across. I'll also give you a few examples of a few protocols which we've seen successfully do that. Integrated execution engine. So our services are across socials. We're socials. We do KOLs, influencers, DevRel programs, event marketing, event execution. So basically everything under one roof. Relevant experience. We organized recently, I think that was last year ago, a gamified Zeely Zeely in a Galaxy campaign, which amassed about 900 participations. I think that was actually close to over 1 million, to be honest. Correct me there. They raised about I think 150 million on their TG. So yeah, we had a strong community built out there with the ideas and mechanism, structured token engagement flow ahead of the mainnet launch. AI was a decentralized GPU marketplace delivered, and we delivered persona driven messaging for AI developers. So we essentially acquire new developers and miners on their platform. SUI ecosystem is actually one of our strongest wins. We've successfully managed. I mean, SUI we've been managing them for 2 years in Turkey. We've successfully grown them into the, I think it's second fastest growing market or second biggest market. This is the insight here I would like to share is just that the amount of local local support, local grassroots level partnerships and communities we were able to engage kind of helped us maintain that growth. So hence I kind of, we stressed on developers, we stressed on local communities, we stressed on this. So I feel like that's a good insight for us. Even like I know for a fact, like right now, Karan is managing Aptos. So that's, I think they're also launching with their own grant programs. Attracting developers is a really big key. We're also the host of Istanbul Blockchain Week. We have full communication. We organize one of the largest Web3 conferences in Eurasia. We also are launching our own AI Agent Music Festival along with Istanbul Blockchain Week. So anyone coming down to Istanbul Blockchain Week, please do feel free to. It's happening June 25th. Please do feel free to come down there. We'll be happy to host you. And just touching base on some of the major clients you would see we'd have worked with across the vertical in the past. I've kind of messed up with Freddy, but that there was no space. I've also added intros. Myself. I've added also Karan here, which he's with a couple of protocols himself. Shubham, who spoke to you on the DevRel side. He's led major projects in the APAC and EU region, and for major work with hackathon organizers across the globe. Just give you a small screenshot, small evidence of the team, which I've not added obviously the RC. So I've just given you a snapshot of what the kind of team you would be with here. And yeah, that's about it. I've given a small breakdown here of the pricing, but this can be reviewed, I think, on a later basis also.
Fantastic. Thank you for going through the presentation. I really appreciate your preparedness today. I want to open the floor to the council and the audience members for any questions for EAK Digital.
He's typing.
Okay. Well, I think that I really appreciate that the focus on the developer community as well. I think that's a really interesting and important angle in all of this. So, see, I'll give it a few more seconds here for anybody else who's being shy to have some follow-up questions. So, where did you say your team is located right now? I saw you had like this particular team. Is this an example of who we'd be working with, or is this where?
This is an example.
Okay.
Yeah, this is an example of who we'd be working with. We're across time zones. Sujit is going to be in Europe. We're in India. You're right here. Some of them are from the US, and a few of them are from Philippines. So it's kind of spread out. It's basically like any Web3 company right now.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly. Okay. Great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the global reach is fantastic. Good.
Yeah.
What would you
I
say,
think,
just in
sure.
the shortest sort of, not shortest, but sort of executive summary is your unique value proposition to Telcoin, the Telcoin Association, this global blockchain network standard for telecoms and vertical platform for blockchain finance. What's your sort of value proposition that your agency can bring to us that we should distill from everything? Not to put you on the spot, I realize that I totally am, but it's kind of the role. So
That's fine. I enjoy these questions. It's a good question, actually. I think our strongest value proposition would be our vast experience in the space and our connections to other projects, along with the fact that we have a network between our the right KOLs to drive volumes, to drive awareness, and backing that up also with a strategy and developer relations. So I think that would be our niche and focus for Telcoin.
do you have any? Do you all do things related to things like websites and like and then also does your agency specialize in getting us off of Discord into a better messaging platform so that we can do these presentations? There's been a lot of technical difficulties, and so from a socials perspective, is the gist of my question there.
I don't think for internal operations, that's something which we would, I guess, say be the right partner. Obviously, we can recommend tools which we kind of use, but I don't think that would be our forte there. Quick communications, of course, we'd improve on your social strategy per se, but wouldn't really tell you that I can tell you if there's a better platform out there.
Looks like we'll have to figure that out another way.
Yeah.
But we're getting off Discord, I think, guys. Anyways, sorry for the non sequitur.
Yeah. I think Shubham just dropped me a message that he wanted to touch a little bit more on the DeFi engagement part.
That's covered, Esas.
Oh, all right. Okay.
Yeah, you
All right,
did
yeah.
cover. Yeah.
Sorry, I just saw your message right now.
Yeah, no worries. That was back then, like when I was covering the intro part. You're good. Yeah.
I was just wondering, with your goal figures that you had for some of the AMAs and the events and stuff, how do you come about reaching, like pinpointing those figures there?
So this is just based on what we think is from past experiences and realistic. We do have, let's say, if we were to do like a AMA, we would be working with a partner who is known for also generating awareness about their AMA in advance and kind of planning that out. And we would also have communication tailored around that. So we have these numbers kind of planned out in advance for these AMAs. And this is based on purely on what we've seen in the past.
And could you, I know you had talked about like coding kind of events to onboard developers. Would you be able to provide us with maybe some links to like previous events and what kinds of outcomes those had?
Definitely, yeah. Shubham should be able
Yeah.
to share that with you along with the entire presentation. We'll be sharing that.
Yep.
All right. Well, fantastic. Thank you everybody for the questions. I think that I don't see any more in the chat. So I think we are good to go. EAK Digital, everybody. Yes, thank you very much for your time.
Round of applause.
Thank you everyone for bearing with me. Appreciate it.
Fantastic. All right.
So Grant, this quick note. So I think so right now we have the presentation deadline for them to send over, their full proposals. I mean, I feel like that's pretty. Do we have is it fixed or is it pretty flexible right now? I mean, the RFQ is supposed to be kind of flexible in that way. I think basically from here we need to give them the time, each of these agencies the time to prepare a proper proposal, to give them the resources they need to do, the full set of due diligence, and then give us, let's say like their proposals, maybe like June 6th, and then the next meeting, in advance of the next meeting, for us to share with the community, for everyone to digest, and then we can, in the next meeting, talk about, try and achieve unanimous consensus possible on the direction we go in this, single choice, selection vote that we'll have with the three agencies in our platform council members, 8 of us, and then after that, of course, the Treasury Council, the 4 of them. We want to make sure we really get consensus on who we're going to move forward with, if we can, because because of the way that its governance is designed to be, really built on the idea of unanimity. I mean, the Treasury Council has unanimously approved that, so we really need to make sure they're on board with who we move forward with, which is a complexity, but is designed, and we're using that to harness it to sort of protect each of the minor groups, And so anyways, long story short, just condensing what I was just saying is that I think we should give them ample time, let's say maybe next Friday, to provide us with their proposals. Or if that seems too fast, later, but I think that seems pretty decent, especially given our timeline here. And then in the next meeting, 2 weeks from today, we just go through all of it, make sure that the community is apprised of it, and then we can use that as a sort of just let's figure it out, open in the open, with everyone involved. What do you think, everyone?
I think, yeah, that's a good point. All 3 firms showed a lot of really strong capabilities and strategic thinking, so I think it's going to be a difficult decision. I would like to see the full reports, and I'd love to give them ample times to prepare that and provide it for the council's review. So I'm not opposed to extending, just delaying the snapshot vote. June 6th would be 8 days, so I think that sounds sufficient from my perspective. Does anybody else have
Well, I think basically they do this. The snapshot vote would be like after the following Monday after the next council meet, and the proposal deadline for them, not just the presentation they shared, but whatever proposals they have for us, we should make that June.
Right. Sorry. Yeah. No, delaying the snapshot vote and having the proposals by next Friday for review. I mean, that's fine. I don't see a problem with that personally. So, because this, just as a reminder for everybody, the process will be to have the platform council vote, Treasury Council will vote. The vote is going to be single choice, and the agency with the most votes wins the contract, and that will be the TEL-IP process. So I think that this is a really big decision that we're making, and I'm really excited to be here. I think it's going to be really benefit us. So there's no need to rush this. We don't want to unnecessarily delay, but it's a big decision. We want to take our time to make the right decision. So in lieu of June 2nd snapshot vote, I think the updated timeline, let's give it another week for the 3 firms that we've received presentations from to submit their final proposals. And that would give the council members a few days before our next meeting on June 12th, where we can really dive into it. the final decisions. And then the following Monday on June 16th, we can open that snapshot vote, which would put us in line to be complete and start hopefully marketing campaigns by July.
Yeah, that seems like a great timeline. Anyone have thoughts? Or
Nope, that sounds good.
opposed?
Yeah, I think it makes a ton of sense. So if there's any dissenting opinions, please speak up, and I'll give it a few seconds and we can wrap it up.
Oh, and I did the org structure diagram just that I can feasibly do, by the way. BZ, I replied to your proposal, the TIP, and provided a bunch of different diagrams, but can't do the dynamic ones. And I think we need to outsource that and convert the TIP into a TEL-IP. So I because it's dynamic, but Leo came up with a mock-up that I liked as a very, very base foundation for something to build from. But yeah, I mean, if anyone knows anyone that would be good at,
Do they have a drugstore in here that we can?
what'd you say? Anyway, so yeah, BZ, if you want to check that out, let me know your thoughts, everyone, on that. That'd be great. Didn't sound like there's any other question.
Yeah. So okay,
Either,
I think before we get into group questions, we do have a few other topics on the agenda to cover briefly. I just wanted to kind of wrap up the presentation portion for our marketing strategists. Thank you again, Storm Partners and EAK Digital, for your time. I really appreciate your professionalism and understanding our commitment to find the right partnership. So we're looking forward to continuing the conversation and seeing the final proposals next week. And again, we'll follow up with just more specific information, make sure that we're all on the same page and that we have all the information we need. Thank you all. Great. So moving forward here, we have an update from Squirtel. We have TEL-IPs. We have 7 of them, or 5 of them, companies 2 through 7 have popped up on the forum. So without any further delay, I yield the floor to you, Adam.
Cheers, buddy. So you guys have probably heard or probably seen as well the redacted proposals for companies 2 through 7 pop up on the Telcoin Association forum today. So as I mentioned in the last meeting, this is part of the process. So we want to make sure that the council gives the seal of approval. So for the certain ones, so then I can move fast when the right moment occurs. So just to clarify, these the 6 proposals you're seeing on the forum, which I will post into the chat now. So the 6 proposals, they aren't the only companies I'm speaking with. In fact, there are quite a few others in the mix that I'm in talks with. Some are still in negotiation stages. Some I've got first meetings with, so one of them being next week, and others are taking their time to get back as well. So naturally, if you've worked with exchanges, you know that they work through their own kind of internal priority order, because as we come into more excitable times or bull run territories or anything like that, whatever you want to call it, they get inundated with all different tokens, different companies wanting to list with them. So many exchanges are quite overloaded, which I'm hearing quite often. So so as I said before, we want to get these listings essentially across the council line for visibility, and so visibility and community support are key essentially. we've already got an incredibly strong community, which does put us in a great position. We just need to keep that momentum going. At the end of the day, it's not just about token or the proposals, it's the whole ecosystem, it's the whole aspect. It's the company can be essentially the best thing since sliced bread, but if no one's talking about it, people won't know. So this is where kind of the magic comes in with a strong community, the agencies that we've spoken with over the last couple of weeks and this evening, and then Telcoin and the Telcoin Association's own marketing efforts. When all this starts coming together, the magic will happen. So from that, all I can say is let's keep showing up, let's keep making the noise, and we're going to keep building this thing together. There are 6 proposals out today and more upcoming in the future. I'd love to be able to scream more from the rooftops, but I think everything is in those links, so please go check them out. In terms of the CoinStore and multi-signature wallet integration, so frustratingly, there's no new updates currently. We have had to postpone some of the marketing until this matter is resolved for the multi-sig wallet aspect. For those of you that don't know or haven't heard, it's essentially CoinStore and other exchanges in general. They stop the sending to contract addresses. Telcoin, being a multi-signature wallet, interacts with a contract address. So we're working on ways to essentially bypass this system, which is a safety mechanism from most exchanges, because as you know, if you send to a contract address, a very, very high percentage of the time it's irrecoverable. So yeah, safety measures were put in place by all the different exchanges there. So this one being CoinStore, and essentially we're just working with them to see what bypass we can do, and then marketing efforts will continue, and you'll be able to see the fruits of that labor. From that aspect, I think that was a very quick update from me. So we've just had one from Hamilton as well regarding funding for T1 listings. The council got open to allocating additional funding for the right opportunity. So I believe we touched on this in the last meeting. And Parker, please correct me if I'm wrong. But if it was the right opportunity, it's open to exploring the different and the right allocations for additional funding. Is that correct?
Yes. There's always opportunity for the right opportunity. I mean, that's the beautiful aspect of this governance. If we put it to a proposal, the snapshot, and the councils listen to the representatives. So, I mean, I think there's certainly an opportunity for, if the right opportunity shows up, then absolutely.
But perfect. Yeah. So can't say any more on that. That's literally nail on the head right there. Yeah, I think that's everything from my side. All I'd say is jump on the forum, give each proposal a read, let me know your thoughts as well, and yeah, just keep making noise. Let everyone know about Telcoin. Let's tell the world.
Awesome, great updates. Thank you, Adam. I really appreciate it. I think. Yeah, this is that kind of concludes the topics of our agenda and brings us to the closing opening Q&A. So I see that we've got some questions from the YouTube stream here, liaison from BZ, so and another one from Boo Classics. So just kind of running through these real quick. So is Telbank still on track to start in July? This seems to be a few of the bank questions. I'm going to just refer to Telcoin Holdings for that particular information. The association isn't really in the know for that. So the MNO testnet still on track for July. Yes, that's what a lot of these meetings have been happening. So all in all, things are going well there. I've now I will say that the security audits for the 4-week competition will start in early June. That is going to be 4 weeks, and then there will be a period of back and forth between the protocol team and the security researchers to address those findings, to correct those findings, and then have those whatever findings are fixed, have those sort of re-reviewed for any additional issues. At that time, that does not stop testnet from July, but there will be a lot of like growth and changes in that time as we address those findings, potentially having to relaunch testnets. But we are trying to work with our MNO partners to get those up on real servers across the world and shooting for July. So still seems to be on track. Is progress being made with UK market? Charlie Bar, I'm not quite sure what that would refer to. Does anybody on the council have an answer for that or statement towards that question? Okay. I think as far as progress being made with the UK market, we definitely appreciate and value the UK market. So any sort of, I would say that there's always progress being made all around the world, and including the UK. Do we have any idea how much volume you hope the network will bring? I understand that's a tough one to answer. So again, I think one of our USPs for Telcoin Network is that we are going to be EVM compatible, but also instant finality, right? And with low fees, really fast transaction time. So we're really hoping to bring a lot of that DeFi. We think it's going to be a DeFi first chain, at least initially off the ground. It's going to be a great opportunity to just support a lot of that DeFi infrastructure. And Telex is doing the councils and that entire part of the platform is doing a fantastic job, really ramping up and getting ready when Telcoin Network is ready and launched. I think Telex they're making leaps and strides. Really, really proud to see that council and the progress they're making. From there, our application developers are also going to be a really big part for volume. But all right, jumping forward, Boo Classic. All right, not necessarily today, but explain the community in the next call, individual steps. Okay. Yes, I think not necessarily for today, but so number one, where they will likely source their initial TEL for mainnet. So for validators, the initial source for TEL for mainnet, we're exploring sponsorship opportunities for early participants. There's also, if the MNO already has Telcoin in their possession, that's available. The councils are considering sponsorships for certain validator participation or like helping up with setup costs, etc. That's all part of the already been approved in the year 2 issuance for just Telcoin Network. So as we get later in the year, we haven't had 6 months worth of block rewards, so there is a little bit of leftover budget there for consideration. How will they bridge to Telcoin Network from where which chains? Specifically, to answer that, we will be from Genesis bridging from Ethereum during Genesis to Telcoin Network. That initial TEL will come from Ethereum through Axelar Bridge. Number 3, how much TEL is required? The initial stake for validators is going to be 1 million Telcoin. We have done a lot of design decisions so that is flexible for future implementations of the network, and particularly for an upgrade of the network. We could upgrade stake requirements, etc. That is pretty technical deep dive, but I'd be happy to talk more about that. And Marcus has done a lot of work on that as well. So maybe that's something that we can follow up on. And then what do they need to do with it? Exactly how to stake for validation purposes. So it is going to be a on-chain staking contract. Again, with Genesis and Telcoin already existing on Ethereum and having that bridged over for Genesis and having that block reward, you need the Telcoin on Telcoin Network in order to produce the first block. and cover those gas fees. So it's a little bit of a chicken and an egg problem that we have thoroughly researched, and we're confident in our solution. So again, it's a little bit of a technical deep dive. I will save for a follow-up or maybe a more special presentation of that. And certainly during this competition, we plan to really spend a lot of time, since we won't be able to add new features or anything, just writing out a lot of this into documentation and really enhancing that that written information for the community and for validators. So, and for staking, it's going to be just a simple contract call. For Genesis, it'll be a little bit different for that initial validator set, because there will be a lot of governance interaction, sort of a white glove approach to kind of help get the network off the ground. But as new validators join the network, it would be as simple as just staking the required amount of TEL onto the consensus registry staking contract. And then number 5, can they or the community tell how much TEL is being staked by other validators? Yes, something that I have kind of added to the roadmap for after launch would be to have a validator dashboard. One of the unique aspects of Telcoin Network is that the transaction pools are known. So each validator will have a unique transaction pool where they're collecting and creating their own batches of transactions that are validated by other peers in the committee for consensus. At that time, you will know, it'll be very obvious who assembled which transactions, and it's one of the ways that we're able to prevent anonymous MEV attacks. But that the community will be able to tell how much TEL is being staked by other validators based on the staking contract. There's a publicly available, there's read functions. You can identify validators by their execution address or their ECDSA key, their BLS key. There's other information that's available as well. And all validators will be issued an NFT after being verified through governance. So that's another identifying. So great. Absolutely, Boo, anytime. So I guess, are there any other questions though? I know we're kind of long on time. I appreciate everybody's patience here. So let's see. Will we know the validators while they're in testnet? I hope so. It's something that I've explored and encouraged in these initial discussions. It's something that we'd much rather just have them actively participate than having a bunch of stipulations off the ground. It's a little bit of a new area for a lot of these telecom participants, but I think that there's definitely room for marketing, co-marketing, announcements, etc. Again, though, I think out of just respect, it's just something that we're interested in and would like to achieve, but it's not a hard line in the sand at this stage. So, but definitely, I see a lot of potential value in that, and I'd love to have that publicly announced as. But again, that's just part of the conversation. What makes with the MNO and what makes them comfortable. So, I don't have any specific answers to that just now. How connected will the MNOs and the council be, as they will be a key part of the association and platform? So yeah, they're one of the 4 minor groups, and their representation is very important, and their voices are also very important. I think we have sub councils right now for Telex and TAN councils. I mean, I could see the potential for adding another like local council for validators as that network grows. But as part of TGIP1 and the governance that as we launched initially, until we have 10 validators running independent nodes, then a lot of the validator decisions are in control of TAO, the Telcoin Autonomous Operations, and that is really so that we can act effectively and efficiently to incentivize the largest growth possible to have these validators come online. So, another thing to keep in mind for Telcoin Network, especially, is because we have a smaller subset of these validators. It's not the crazy numbers of Ethereum where anybody with a laptop can run the protocol. But instead, what we can do is have these validators run multiple nodes. You can also have partnerships and then the subsidiaries, so that you still have a lot of nodes on the network. So you have that diversification. that is important. But the mobile network operators are also really have sophisticated fallback software solutions. So I think there's a lot of opportunity there as well to just have robust node infrastructure. Are we any further on development so the association can earn as a part of this? No, we don't have really as much as I would like to. I think adding that feature kind of at this stage, it would really just it would detract from getting mainnet out the door. So fortunately, not right now. It is definitely something that I see a lot of value in, and having that like a delegation sort of aspect where community members and other Telcoin holders can fund more nodes on the network. I think that's a win-win. It helps create more nodes online. That's just a healthy aspect of the network, but it also allows the community to be involved and really, and another opportunity to sort of lock the tel in, and there's a lot of benefits from that. So definitely something that's long term. I think it will happen. Short term, we're just focused on getting mainnet off the ground. Yeah, and exactly, it definitely could contribute to self-sustaining marketing budget. So, and then. Last question here. Is someone working in Australia so we can have an on-off ramps for direct deposits to the Telcoin app in Australia? So I think that's a huge incentive for the bank, and that bank is Telcoin Bank has a global perspective, and that's something that they're working very hard on, and because that on-off ramps it's a problem everywhere. So getting to that stage is going to be a huge win. It's definitely in the works. And New Zealand, of course, we can never forget New Zealand too. All right. Well, everybody, I think that concludes the meeting for today. Thank you again for your participation and your thoughtful questions and our presentations from the marketing campaigns. Our next meeting will be June 12th, followed by June 26th and then July 10th. We do have the deadlines to get those full proposals by next Friday, that is June 6th. And we plan to do a deep dive through the final proposals on June 12th before putting it to snapshot on June 16th. In the meantime, if you have any other suggestions besides Discord, please send them to us. And yeah, we'll see you guys in the chat channels. Thanks, everybody.